Okay.
Hey everyone, I'm Thomas Johnson.
This is Jeff Key.
We're the Godless Left. And I know you're probably thinking, oh my god, that's what the fuck they look like. Sorry to disappoint you. I'm not Fabio, I'm Flabio. I'm just trying to rock the gut as best I can, okay?
No, we just recently crawled back out of hell, so.
And all I got is this fucking t-shirt. All hell odorous. Rest in peace. Love Gore. Anyway, moving on. Here lately, we've been dealing with a lot of crap lately. Out of all different angles and stuff. He's been dealing with his work. I'm dealing with the city. I'm trying my damnedest not to strangle some fucking people. I got a clean criminal record. I'm trying to keep it that way. But good Lord Almighty, I am trying not to kill some motherfuckers.
Mostly council members that keep jumping out of meetings.
Mm-hmm. Or trying to pass the bet. To the left, go to the motherfucker, to the left, Or, no way. Anyway. No, see, what he's talking about, okay, in my part of town in Tulsa, we call it the Line, which is West Tulsa. It's like the far west. Between downtown Tulsa and Sand Springs, which is like short distance. They've been taking away the parks, swimming pools, all that stuff for the kids, leaving hardly anything worth anything behind. Losing all of our grocery stores. When I moved into this neighborhood back in 1987, we had 4 grocery stores we could go to at any point in time in walking distance. We had a quick trip down the street on the corner. Everything was fine. We didn't have no crime. Everything was booming and working good. Now we don't have not one thing, and now it's becoming a food desert, which is the topic of what we're discussing today.
Which affects 23.5 million people in America.
And you're probably looking at me wondering, why did that fat motherfucker need anything to worry about a food desert or a grocery store?
Actually, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
With a food desert, you can't have easy access to fresh fruits, fresh vegetables. What you get easy access to is chips, Twinkies, and whatever they're selling at the fucking convenience store.
And which half the time is not really reliable to begin with. But then again, you have these churches that want to come in and swoop in with these little food banks or these food giveaways from time to time, give themselves a pat on the back, thinking, oh, we're doing good for the community. Well, it'd be good for the community if they put a fucking grocery store there, so that way they would have some dignity to actually go out and get some fresh groceries, rather than going in there feeling like they have to beg for it.
Or, if the church actually has a nice little bit of greenery attached to it anywhere, make a community garden.
That brings up an interesting point that you said that. Because when I talked to some of the representatives in the city council that represents our district, the people that I talked to said, well, the community center that you guys go to for your city meetings, your neighborhood meetings, called the Hub, which is a church-run thing, they're telling us that they're bringing in a grocery store. Their idea of a grocery store was what you just said. A little garden, that's it. That's not a grocery store.
No.
That's just a glorified food bank. And the thing is, okay, even people that I talked to outside of that said that's not going to work because you're going to have the homeless stealing food out of there. So, I mean, even though, yeah, I'm glad the homeless is going to get some food out of it, but, it just doesn't work out that way. And everyone in this neighborhood, okay, that I grew up in, okay, a lot of these people are elderly, disabled, a lot of veterans. They're trying to do their thing.
Very dependent on Meals on Wheels to the extent that it exists.
Mm-hmm. So, with that being said, here's a lot of problems with food deserts. A lot of cities do this on purpose, sometimes just to hope to drive people out so they can swoop in and take over.
Yeah.
It's a fucking headache.
People get desperate to leave, and all of a sudden, local government comes around offering them thousands of dollars to sell their homes.
And sometimes less than what the homes are valued.
Exactly.
But what else are they going to do? I mean, there's different things, different reasons why they do this. Sometimes on purpose or inadvertently. Either way it goes, it's still not good. But will they admit that they fucked up? No. Case in point, North Tulsa. People already know, very familiar with North Tulsa over the... I'm getting tongue tied again, sorry. Over North Tulsa, over the Tulsa Race Massacre. Okay. Soon after that happened, slowly but surely, the people in North Tulsa tried to slowly rebuild. But when I-244 highway, or expressway, was built, it became a divider between the North Tulsa and the rest of Tulsa. Which means it cut off all the mainstream progression that would benefit North Tulsa, that help them grow. And so what did that do? It made things a lot more difficult for people to get the things that they need in North Tulsa. And it became slowly but surely a desolate, almost Mad Max in a way type of attitude out there, because hardly any employment out there, any grocery stores, anything at all. So the people are stuck with dealing with gang activity and crimes and all that, because that's the only thing they have to fall back on.
Yeah.
And then when people try to fight to make things better, now they got to contend with that. And then when people from outside try to come in to try to build up the area, they get discouraged because of the crime that was created from the city's mess. So...
yeah, and places of poverty will always be the places that have the most, well, not white-collar crime.
No.
White-collar crime will always be in the nicer neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
And it's precisely because of that white-collar crime that you get the rest of the crime.
Mm-hmm. Shit trickles downhill.
Oh, yeah. It trickles until it snowballs. Then it just fucking floods.
I hate to be in... Never mind. Moving on. I just had this Taco Bell visual just... Anyway. Oh, man. Anywho's, here's the deal, though. In everything I've seen so far, everything I've fought for,
yeah,
I've been fighting with the city. I've been talking to 3 different representatives. They're supposed to represent this part of Tulsa, different aspects, different ways. I get the same story every time. They don't, when it comes to areas that people feel like it's a no man's land, it's a waste of time, or they feel like the city is just going to crap on them, they don't care for them, they're just going to dance around the subjects, and they're just going to try to avoid answering questions or just pass the buck. And
yeah, if they show up physically, they don't show up mentally.
No kidding. And it's funny too, because I caught a couple of them a few months back on a totally unrelated deal. Caught them off guard, because they didn't really think that someone like me had any kind of lick of intelligence to catch them in a lie, let alone educate them and the people in the room. They weren't happy about me. They didn't call upon me the rest of the night. It's like, shit, fat man got brains. But
yeah, you were talking about that bridge that...
yeah, see, our issue in our neighborhood right now, on top of that, is the fact that they're building a turnpike through our neighborhood. It's connecting one part of the highway to another. Well, originally, back in the 90s, the concept of that turnpike was never meant to be a turnpike to begin with. That's lie number one. Lie number two, they promised us a protective sound barrier to protect our homes and foundations from any kind of damage from the sound vibrations from the highway, and also from any straying vehicle that might come off the highway. Instead, now they say, well, we cannot afford to give you that, but we can afford to give you a 10-foot chain link fence.
Which any good pair of wire cutters, or even just pliers, could cut through.
Honestly, what does a chain link fence can do to protect from a flying fucking semi? Okay?
Jack shouldn't.
I know. It's like, poking a hole in a condom, slapping it on, hoping for the best. You know what I mean? I have faith, Who you fucking? Oh, shit, never mind. It's like, you're getting ready to fuck this bitch, it's like patient zero, the AIDS virus, and you're handed the condom with the hole in it. And you're like, I have faith in you! I can do this! Yeah, I don't have faith in that one bit whatsoever, I mean, it's just busted. Ah, man.
So you're saying you wouldn't fuck Typhoid Mary?
Oh, hell no. Dude, I fucked some people. Okay, let me clarify. I ain't get around, but I have my fucking no. There's a glass roof that I will not go through. Oh, goddamn. I had to lean and twist and tuck in here. There we go. So, what can we do as a society, as a people, to better things in our community to help provide with such things, Well, first and foremost, stuff that does not revolve tar and feathering politicians.
Oh, I'm in favor of tarring and
trust me, politicians. If it was up to me, I'd be doing some Vlad the Impaler shit real fucking quick. It was like, you have been impeached. That's the cuter. Anyway, no, what we can do as a society, as a community, in every community, start from the ground up. Clean up our neighborhoods. Clean up our community. Make it pleasant. Make sure that we are working together to make sure there's no criminal element in our community that will detract from any kind of outside interest from places that provide such necessities, whether it be a Walmart, or, as much as I hate Walmart, a Racers, Albertsons, an Aldi's, whatever grocery store, that are able to bring in some kind of assistance for your community. They're not going to come in until you clean up the area. Secondly, light a fire under them politicians' ass.
So, like I said, tar and feather them.
The city representatives that represents you in your districts are the ones that are handling the money and deciding whether what they want to do or not want to do in your area.
So, you should call them and tell them that you will vote against them, that you will be very vocal against them if they don't shape shit up.
Why call them? Go to City Hall. Be on their fucking door. Make a presence about it. Because, trust me, if you make a big enough noise to catch the media's interest, and it's like, hey, these people are supposed to be working for us. This has been going on for X amount of years. What the hell's going on? Where is our grocery store? Where is our anything?
If you reach the media, then you're reaching everybody outside of that neighborhood, maybe the city, maybe the rest of the fucking country to some degree.
And there's some people out there of influence that do give a damn about people who might dig down and try to help. You don't know. It never hurts to take a chance and get up and do something. That's why I've been busting my butt for the past several months, going to these town meetings, contacting these city officials, and explain to them. Because I'm not telling them what I want done. I'm telling them a lot of things that a lot of the elderly people and other neighborhood people are telling me in these groups. Because they feel, what's a good way to say it? They lost faith in City Hall. They do not trust them.
They've been disenfranchised.
Thank you.
Yep.
Because they've been promised the heavens above.
And then they've been delivered dog shit.
Exactly. All wrapped up in a nice pretty bow. Like, I'm sorry we can't get you this, but we got you this. It's like a kid begging their parents for Christmas that they want the latest and greatest PlayStation 5. And for Christmas, they get an Atari.
But, it is a little different than that. It's more like there's something that they need. There's something that they have to have. You don't have to have a fucking PlayStation. But you need fucking food in your fucking gut if you're gonna fucking live.
What I meant by the whole analogy is this, okay?
I know what you meant.
Alright, we're just aiming high, and they pull the rug out from under you, and it's like, you've been punked.
But I just want to emphasize the seriousness of this.
Yes. Because, see, let me explain something to you. Another big issue, this goes along with the food deserts, is how the food stamps are being handled for the people. Case in point, a good dear friend of mine that's no longer with us.
Yeah.
His name was Gunny. His name is Ralph Railsback. This is his real name. Guy served in Vietnam. Lost pieces of himself in Vietnam. And still kept on fighting and ticking. Just come back home here. And as a retired, disabled veteran, when I known him, they only gave him $14 in food stamps. $14 fucking in food stamps. On top of the couple hundred, a few $100s that he gets every month to put towards his rent, his bills, and whatever necessities he needs.
I'm not saying that's what happened to him. I don't really know, but from what I've heard, there are 3 veterans a day that kill themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, the suicide rate of veterans is extremely fucking high.
I know, but he didn't die for that, thankfully.
Yeah.
He just had poor health.
Well, I just bring it up because this is the reason.
Yeah.
That's the reason a lot of them are killing themselves. It's not just PTSD. It's not just injuries. It's
how they're being treated.
Exactly.
Even now. I mean, this guy literally lost part of his skull and part of his leg from a mortar in Vietnam. And, mind you, people that served in Vietnam came back to a very unfriendly welcome. They didn't deserve that kind of welcome. They didn't ask to go through all that shit. They had to do their job.
I am very anti-war. I am very anti-military. I am not somebody that would very often say I support the troops. What I will say is this. If you were a veteran during Vietnam, you didn't have much of a fucking choice. you didn't have much of a goddamn option. It was get arrested, flee to another country, or sign up and hope you don't fucking die afterwards.
And these guys, mind you, for those of you who don't realize this, people that got drafted in Vietnam, they were teenagers. They were still in school, and they got plucked from school and dropped off in the rice paddies.
Yeah, and you know a nice little scientific fact? Your brain's not fully developed until you're 25. These kids were 18 if they weren't young.
16.
Yeah.
16, 17, 18, in Vietnam, serving, fighting, seeing shit that you only see in fucking movies.
And now, because of our lovely last president, you can't even smoke a fucking cigarette until you're 21. But you can kill somebody.
But my point being is this. My friend Gunny served his time for our country. He fought over there in that hellacious war. Came home. Got the kind of welcome that typical Vietnam veterans got, which was fucking crazy. He told me about how he was treated. But as a veteran, you really expect them to live off of $14 a month?
Here's the thing. Rather I like any of it. Rather I like the military culture. Rather I like the military. Rather I like wars and all our fucking imperialistic empire bullshit. What I will say is this. The individual troop, right or wrong, signed up to give their fucking life for this goddamn country.
Mm-hmm.
And when they come back, our government doesn't give a shit.
I mean, they claim they do. They want to throw out these parades and all this stuff. But you notice, I mean, we're going off on a different subject here.
We are.
But I'll say this. The food stamp situation is not just affecting them. It's affecting everyone. Me, myself, okay, when I was married, me, my wife, my son, we was getting $400 a month on food stamps. When my wife died, they cut that down in half to $200. Less than a year later, down to another $100. They cut it down next to nothing after that. And then they cut it down to where now I'm getting like $25 a month for me to take care of my son. Okay? And they changed things around to where the qualifications to get food stamps are a lot different than what they used to be. So now it makes it that much more difficult for people to get decent, to get food stamps to survive. If you're homeless, and you apply for food stamps, you're not going to get it
because you don't have an address.
It's not the fact that you don't have an address. You don't pay bills. You don't have your own home. You don't have nothing. So because of that, plus you're not showing the fact that you're trying to find work, you're not going to get food stamps.
Yeah.
You know, that adds another element to everything. Okay? Again, we got to build up our community. We got to clean up the neighborhoods. Get everything on track. Get everyone on board. And then once we get that, then we focus on the city officials. We focus on city officials, and if we have to, go over their heads to the media. Okay? Let the people know. Let everyone know. Go on social media. Let them know. This is what's going on. In this town. In this part of town. In this area. Where there's a mass population of people that have no access to decent, healthy food.
People can only be as healthy as their options. If all you have if all you're offered, all you have access to is what they sell in the convenience store, you're not going to be very healthy. You know, and that's how you get not only obesity, but that's how you get diabetes, that's how you get hypertension, that's how you get high fucking blood pressure, that's how you get heart attacks.
Yeah. I'm sure you're all looking at my fat ass, like, yeah, you've been hitting the fucking ho-hos a little too hard, Hey, I get it, okay? I'm a fat fuck. I know, okay? I know. I like to cook. I like to sample the product, okay? Don't get me wrong. But it's not about it's about okay? So, yeah. Anyway, all joking aside, I'm busting my fat ass fighting with these dumb fucks up there at City Hall. And recently, they just changed up the districts. They defined the division lines of what districts are what. So now...
And they never do it in a way that geographically makes sense, because that's not the point.
No. See, we were a part of District 1.
Yeah. Which
goes along with North Tulsa. Now, North Tulsa is all District 1. So that's all, we're part of District 4. I don't know where the fuck District 4 is. Who the fuck runs District 4? That's what I want to know. Because the person that was running District 1, trust me, I blown up her inbox. I talked to her in person. Oh, we'll make plans. We're going to do all this stuff. We got all kinds of cool plans. What should do? Just earlier today on the news. Fuck West Tulsa. I'm all about North Tulsa. All good and fine that North Tulsa is getting the attention that they need. Don't get me wrong. But, it's like, I'll pass on that.
You ever seen that meme on Facebook? You got the mother holding up one kid in the pool. Meanwhile, the other kid in the pool is going under.
Shit, I feel that way about half the politicians we have in this goddamn state. Only in Oklahoma. I know. No. I gotta say this, though. Okay?
Just say it.
No. It's been a really big headache messing with all this. And so it's like... You know those V8 commercials back in the day where you just smacked foreheads and you should have had a V8?
Right.
If I had a chance to do that to them, they would have a permanent indentation in their fucking forehead of all the stupid asinine shit they came up with. Okay? Like, man, I had a brain fart. But excuse me 1 second. I'm tagging you out. I gotta take care of the business. Alright. Oh. Keep on talking about it.
So let's go ahead and see if I can carry this for a couple minutes. The main thing it amounts to a lot is... There you go. There's a proper English sentence. Is that what I've seen in my friend's neighborhood. We live in the same town. And what I'm sure goes on in many other places is that his neighborhood has been allowed, if not encouraged, to wither up and die. Meanwhile, what I have been hearing lately is that there are people who want to come in and buy houses at cheap fucking prices. This is what you do. You drive the people out, you make them fucking desperate, you make them actually want to leave, you make them actually want to get the fuck out of where they're at. And then you buy that shit cheap. And that's how you kill a neighborhood.
Oh yeah. Woo! Feel the burn. Ha ha. So, Anywho, now you can see all my beautiful glory. Now, with the food deserts, this shit's been going on for generations now, from different parts of the world, or different parts of the country, let alone the world. You know, I mean, people can help out any way they can with food banks and that, but that only does this much. Okay? And you notice something? These food banks that the churches do, they don't give half the time really edible foods half the time. Case in point, I used to go take my son with me to a place called Guts Church.
Yes. I'm
familiar with it. It's over on 41st and Mingo.
Yep.
Now, mind you, the concept was a good idea and all that, but what they do is they get discarded food from different grocery stores, and then they repurpose it in their food banks. Okay? Some of this stuff's out of date, expired, or spoiled food mixed in with decent food.
Yeah.
So when you get a big bundle of food from them, okay, by the time you get home, you gotta pick through and throw out the shit that's gonna, get you sick or attract bugs. Okay? That's one thing that drives me nuts, because people that are desperate for food, like real food, they're reaching out to these churches and their little food banks because they're in these food deserts.
Yeah.
They think they're getting something special. They get the car loaded up with all this fucking food and groceries and all that stuff. And they get home. By the time they go through it all, they only get to keep like a tenth of what they got. Because everything is spoiled or bad or rotten or out of date. And the reason why they keep it from going bad because they freeze everything.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, if you're going to give out food to these people, give them good fucking food. Okay? I don't see anywhere in the Bible where Jesus is like, fuck, let's see.
Here's a moldy piece of green bread. Go ahead and...
No, it'd be like, fuck. Them people again, shit. Hey, here's some half-eaten fish. Go for it, Praise the Lord,
Fish and loaves.
Oh, fuck the lepers again, really. God damn it. Oh, sorry. Give us some of them. Give them the fucking shrooms. Give them them shrooms. I don't, oh yeah, you're healed.
Just go back to your leper colony so we don't have to look at you.
Yeah, they don't
Just
pay.
like, that's how we treat our homeless people
They don't.
nowadays.
Usually, they don't pay me worth shit. Here you go. All I'm saying is this: if you're going to do good for the community, and you're going to do a food bank, give them good food. Because until they get grocery stores in these food deserts, these people are going to starve. The elderly and disabled, they're going to struggle day in, day out.
Yep.
The single parents that have no transportation, has to take care of their kids on the daily.
Which means taking those kids on the bus. So if you don't want to have to deal with your neighbor's noisy fucking kid, just make sure they can eat.
It's not about dealing with the noisy neighbors' kids and all that.
It's not just that.
It's
the
also
fact that the parents are themselves dealing with their noisy kid. After traveling how many hours on fucking public transportation. You're fucking tired as shit when you get done with that.
See, if you live in North Tulsa...
It's just exhausting. It's exhaustive.
I know. Believe me. I'm a single parent, mind you. I know this shit. All too well. Thing is, like in North Tulsa, they have two options. They can go up north to Turley,
Yep.
which is a good half-hour drive north
Yep.
from where they live,
Yep.
and they have one grocery store there.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep. Why?
Or
30 minutes.
Or they could go south and they could go as far as Admiral Lewis, Admiral Memorial, or all the way down to Tulsa Hills for that matter. I mean, there's the grocery stores are way out there.
Which is going to take hours of bus rides to get there.
Unless you have transportation yourself.
Yeah.
But if you have to take the bus, yes. It will take about a good 2 hours just to get there.
Yep.
Just to get there. That means you have to take the bus from North Tulsa down to downtown bus station. Then you gotta take a transfer, take another bus going a different route east. And then you have to wait till you get to the right location. Then you go do your thing. Then you have to wait for the bus to come back around. Then you gotta do another transfer. Then you gotta go back. It's a process, and it's long, and it's a pain in the ass. And if you have a handful of children on your hip while you're trying to carry a shitload of groceries, it's a nightmare. Now, in my own neighborhood, I live 3 blocks away from the main street.
Yep.
Charles Page. And up and along down Charles Page, we used to have 3 grocery stores just on Charles Page alone. Then we had one on 49th West Avenue. Then we had 2 over there on Edison. Practically, we had 5 or 6 different grocery stores in our neighborhood. No longer around. Anyone in any part of our neighborhood could just get up, walk out the front door, walk about a good 10-15 minutes, have themselves their own cart, or get a shopping cart and stuff, load it up, and walk to the house and be done. Okay? That's how it used to be back in the day. Unless you had a car. Oh my god. I really, really, really wish that everyone could hear us out now and take this in stride. Because if you're in a food desert yourself, or if you have family and friends that are in a food desert, and you want stuff to get done, get up off your ass. Get out the door and start making things happen. You know, clean up the neighborhood. Get everyone on board. You know, neighborhood watch, whatever. Make sure that someone's doing shit they're not supposed to. Fucking bust their balls on it.
And by that, we primarily mean your council and city council members.
Yeah, that.
Yes, I do. Anyway.
Well, that, or, you know, if you see someone doing something illegal they're not supposed to do, if it means making sure it doesn't happen again, report it. Don't sit on your ass and, oh, I can't do that, it's wrong. No, it isn't. Okay?
Because those city council members are there to serve you. They are there to serve your community. And if they're not, you should put the fucking fear of God out.
Vote them out.
Yeah. But show up to their office and talk to them first.
I don't mean like, Goodfellas talk to them. I mean, just talk to them, Have a conversation with them. Show them that, you're looking into issues with your community. You're taking notes from everyone in your community. This is your list of complaints. You guys are dropping the fucking ball. A, B, and C. I want you to get off your D and get in there and get the fuck to work. Just because here's the interesting thing. I don't know how it is with you, anyone else out there where you're at, But in Oklahoma, we have the 5 civilized tribes. Okay? They're like the main tribes that kind of govern over certain issues. Whether it be casinos, hunting, gaming, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But they provide over, I believe it was $80 billion to the state in general to divvy up evenly to help kind of pay their share, to kind of contribute to make sure everything's all squared away. But if that's the case, then how come places like North Tulsa, West Tulsa, and other communities like us are getting FUBAR'd? And when we're getting word from our own city representatives saying, oh, we don't have the money for that. We don't have money for this. We don't have money for that.
But we do have money for this other thing over here that will not help you in any way.
I know. They can go fuck themselves for all I care. So, but that's also a consideration right there. And honestly, that's something I'm considering doing, is try to reach out to my tribe and see what they have to say about shit like this. Because my tribe has just recently acquired their own little grocery store for their food commodities. And they also got their own meat processing plant and their own cattle ranch to provide for their tribes. So, with that being said, that's some heavy shit right there. And that would feed a ton of people on the community program, on the commodity program. So, I mean, if they have that kind of money, on top of dropping billions of dollars into the state to benefit its function, where's all that money floating around at? That's what I'd like to know.
Yeah.
But, I digress. You know, things are getting crazy out there nowadays. With COVID, with gas prices skyrocketing.
So we'll have a lot to talk about in future episodes.
Oh, yes, honey. Yes, indeed. We got lots to talk about, honey. And especially with that Ukraine and Russian bullshit going on.
Yeah, well, as I've stated on my personal Facebook, Jeff Key, is that I will believe that America cares about the people of Ukraine when we stop giving weapons to Saudi Arabia to kill the children in Yemen. Until then, I'll just call it bullshit.
So saith the Jeff. So, me personally, I'm not as attuned to what's going on over there, so I had to be educated myself to know what's going on. But, therefore, I'm not going to speak on that. Because, for me to speak on something like that, I would be no different than the ignorant assholes out there. It's like, oh yeah, well, I know so, because Jesus said, and all this. Oh, just because you saw him in your fucking cornflakes, you think he's talking to you everywhere you go. But, all in all, people, I'm Thomas Johnson.
I'm Jeff Key.
We're the Godless Left. And I'm just so happy to see you people. They're so lovely, lovely little kinksters you. We'll be back for some more funkiness.
Go out there and kick your city council's ass.
And for that matter, kick your senator's ass too while you're at it. If you're lucky enough, go fuck the governor.
In the ass with the dildo.
I'm sure he'll pay you with some meth.
Until next time, folks.
Hail Satan.